Secretary General and Head of Civil Service. Sir, you're welcome.
Well, thank you very much. I must express my gratitude for the honor of having me here, mainly through our good friend from India, Basiru Jallo, and he's really repping India today with a gallant Indian-style dress. Our host, Mr. Keta, who I must thank for doing you this honor of receiving you here and sharing his wisdom. I'm supposed to talk about volunteerism and career guidance. Léegi seen topics yi war si dañ dee rëy de foog nga dem uti dictionary wala encyclopedia waaye yaakaar naa mun nañ koo léeb so léeboon amoon na fi amoon na jamono buñ daan woy si school yi waaye dañ daan wax yuppi ya yuppi yuppi ya yuppi ya yuppi yuppi ya yuppi yuppi ya. I remember when I was a Boy Scout. I remember when I was a Red Cross. I remember when I was a Red Cross. Well, actually, I was a member of the Red Cross when I was going to primary school in Lamine, Kombo North. Léegi seen link yi nag dama dee gis ngeen faa dugal home waaye I guess ñun Lamine link rek lañ woon St. Peter's Primary School actually, and I really enjoyed it. It was an opportunity to serve but also to learn. We had really fantastic teachers there. I remember Miss Bajan, I remember Nyom Fode Chor. What I liked most was the drama bit and the visits with other links. I remember we had a visit with SL Link and I had a friend there. I don't remember his name, but it was a good time to know each other. I don't know whether you guys do those things now, but I think they're great tools for social cohesion. Volunteerism has been here forever. And I think that all the major religions not only encourage it, they celebrate it. In the Islamic tradition, our Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam is reported to have said that the most beloved people to Allah are those who are most beneficial to other people. And I think that's what you guys do through the Red Cross. And we have great people in the annals of history, like Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Mother Teresa. They were all volunteers, serving people, looking at the interests of the communities and nations, and forgetting their own personal interests, because they know there's always a bigger cause to live for. And Mahatma Gandhi, yes, Basiru will connect with that, he's from India, is quoted to have said that the best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in the service of others. Now that's very profound. The best way to find yourself is to lose yourself in serving others. And it connects the two branches of your topic for me, volunteerism and career guidance. You see, sometimes if you focus on yourself too much, you get lost. But by losing yourself in serving others, you can come to find out what you are actually really good at and how you may serve community and nation. And through that, you end up serving yourself. I'm sure there are thousands of leaders who focus on themselves and the positions they wanted to hold. But you don't hear them. But you hear of Nelson Mandela. You hear of Martin Luther King Jr. You hear of Mahatma Gandhi. You hear of Mother Teresa and thousands of other people who live to serve their communities and nations. And that's the path you are taking. And I want to let you know that what you are doing is important, and what you are doing will benefit you later in life. I think personally I took many paths to become who I am today, but I've always belonged to some form of voluntary organization, be it Red Cross at primary school or the President's Award Scheme at high school. It was all about service and volunteerism. And I know in this country right now, this is what we need more than anything else. These floods that are happening in the country, somebody told me that the Red Cross have been the first responders and the most effective caregivers right now in this era of natural disaster. So Clap for yourself. I think it's a noble thing that you guys are doing. And whoever does this, know that you are not losing anything. Because the system of the universe is created such that you don't lose anything. You always get rewarded, either directly or indirectly, for the services that you run. And that's a Quranic principle. Hal jaza'ul ihsan illa al ihsan. Is there any reward for good except good? So what you're doing is good. What you're doing is within the spirit of ihsan in Islam, doing beautiful things. And it so happened that part of my zikr today was to repeat the Quranic ayah, Inna rahmatallahi qareebun min al-muhsinin, that the mercy and grace of Allah is always close to those who do good. So what you guys are doing, you're serving your community with a civic duty and responsibility, but you are also discharging a religious obligation. And if I say religious obligation, I mean both from the Islamic and Christian perspective. What was Jesus Christ's life? Did he even own a house? He was serving people, helping people, supporting people. We talk of all the thousands of saints within the Christian canon. What are they doing? What are the priests doing? It's to serve the people. So you are on the right path. You are on the path of those people who have been registered as among the greatest of all times. Which businessman have you ever seen listed among the greatest people in the world? It's the Gandhis you hear. It's the MLKs you hear. It's the Mother Teresa's you hear. Why? Because they made the service of others a bigger priority than their own personal interests. Now, does that mean that all you have to do is just serve? Because you cannot give what you do not have. So it also presupposes that you would need to build yourself, to get an education, get a trade that you can use to develop your own potentials, and through those potentials you can serve your communities. Right now we need carpenters to fix the houses of those whose houses are broken. We need masons to make blocks and help people. I know somebody that I sent support to right now, and the person said you must give some more because part of the house has fallen. So the kind of volunteerism we want would have to go with building yourself also so that you can give more. If you are a Red Cross volunteer and you don't have a job, it's fine, you can give your time. But how about you are a Red Cross volunteer who is also a welder man, such that if you go to an area where they have a catastrophe, you can volunteer your welding skills and weld their doors. I think you would have been adding capacity to yourself and the work that you do. And I want to cite an example of somebody who was my mentee, Modu Basiruli, Mbili, I think he was leader of the Serekunda link, who was a Red Cross volunteer all through his youth career. But he also worked at Africell and paid for himself to go through University of the Gambia. Now he's in Finland having done his master's, and he has his own business here. It's called Mbili Financial Services. He was a volunteer. So being a volunteer does not mean that you have to forget about yourself and not focus also on a career to build yourself so that you can create bigger capacity to benefit your link, the Red Cross locally, the Red Cross internationally. I know Alassane Senghor is serving at the international level. I don't think they will pick you for those jobs if you don't have certain academic qualifications. So it's a cue that whilst you're doing this, make sure you also pursue your educational career, make sure you develop your talents and skills. I think this country right now, with the changes we are having in the global climate conditions, it's not just the Gambia, the whole world, there are more and more challenges. So the bigger the challenges, the greater the need for the capacity to tackle those challenges. So I must emphasize to you the need to take your education seriously, the need to learn skills, and the need to appreciate our culture, like your host, Mr. Keta, said here today. We have countries like Japan, Malaysia, Singapore, that develop to the level of almost at the same level of European countries, or even better, but they never threw away their culture. they never abandon their culture. And that's why I'm glad that Pink Togni is like Mbara. During this summer, you learn down def moy nekas in Julie to learn and teach our culture. That should also be part of your training, because whatever service you render must be rooted within the culture, otherwise you can offend those people who you are supposed to help. So since the rain is coming and it's drowning my voice, I want to conclude by congratulating you and thanking you for the service you render to the community, and to congratulate and thank your leaders, and to let you know that what you are doing, voluntarily serving people, you are acting according to the command of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the Quran. For what he told us is, fastabiqul khairat. He said we should compete in being good, in doing good, and in rendering service that could be beneficial to our communities. I want to thank you again for your invitation, and to tell you that I am also with you. As they say, once a soldier, always a soldier. I believe once a Red Cross, you are always a Red Cross. So I am also a volunteer. So this training you are going through is going to play into your lives later. There are a lot of, the human being is a product of habits. Whatever actions you do repeatedly, whatever thoughts come to your mind repeatedly, they will manifest in your actions. So sometimes I do stuff, I'm trying to help people all over, but where did it begin? I was trained as a Red Cross volunteer, and that spirit is still within us and within the community. I just came from the stadium for a football match. The moment I got in, guess what I saw? Red Cross. For wherever we go, wherever we are, we always need you. And we want to commend you, to know you, to let you know that. How many Liverpool fans are here? Like the Liverpool people would say, we want to assure you that you will never walk alone. Thank you for your kind attention.